This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Cowabunga, dudes and dudettes. This is Anthony, aka BatBomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the Figma Guts figure Black Swordsman edition from the Sword of the Berserk. Now, taking a look at the front, we can see that the figure is showcased in your standard Figma window box packaging. We can also see that he is numbered at 359. Turning the box around, we can see multiple panels showcasing the figure in multiple posing positions with his different interchangeable parts and accessories. So with the box out of the way, let's crack this figure open and see what we have inside. And here's Guts out of the box. And man, this is a figure that I have been wanting for a very long time. Only because I am kind of an old school fan of Sword of the Berserk, and I mean kinda, and you'll see why in a sec. But this figure is incredible. I am definitely a fan of this design, the cool big giant sword, and overall just a rad character, and I am so stoked to add him to the collection. Figma has given us an amazing figure. But before we take a closer look at the figure, let's take a look at the accessories. So Guts does come with a good amount of accessories. Starting off, he comes with your standard Figma bag to store all your accessories, a cape, 9 interchangeable hands, 2 interchangeable head sculpts, his sword, and a standard Figma stand with an articulated arm that articulates at 4 points with dual attachments. So with the accessories out of the way, let's take a look at Guts. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at Guts. Now, I have been waiting for a good Guts figure to add to my collection for a very, very long time. Now, I know this guy has been released before, but I believe this is a different color deco than what we've received in the past. So, I know the prices on those figures are a little crazy. So when my buddies at Ageless Geeks got him in, I was like, dude, I'm gonna need one of those. So that's exactly what I did. Now, I know this guy, I believe, has his own anime and manga. I actually don't remember him so much from that stuff. What I do remember him is from the Dreamcast game. Now, that is actually how I discovered this character, from that old Dreamcast game. And I think I actually just, like, randomly bought the game, thinking, you know what, this looks interesting, this looks cool. And I played it, and I loved it. It was just really gnarly, really cool story, loved the character, and that's how I fell in love with Guts. So this figure does a great job of capturing that design. Figma did an amazing job. From the head sculpt to the body, everything just looks really, really good. Love the paint apps. There's a nice weathering amongst everything. The boots, the pants, all the folds and wrinkles. The armor even have some dry brushing across. The shoulder pads are a softer, pliable plastic, so they do not hinder articulation whatsoever. The knife and all these little throwing daggers are not removable. Those are part of the sculpt. Just everything about this looks fantastic. I think they just did such an amazing job incorporating the design into figure form, and I really do love what Figma does. And in my opinion, they do have some of the best joints, like this little ankle, the knee joint right here. Figma does, in my opinion, have some of the best joints in, as far as articulation goes, in pretty much any all action figures. So again, the big sword, that's like his signature weapon, that's what he's known for, kind of like a la Cloud Strife and things like that. Guts just has one of those anime swords that's like bigger than the person. You know, a lot of us love stuff like that. And it's really cool because it is actually held by a real actual metal chain. You see it comes around the back, and there's like this little strap piece. And if you can see on the back right there, you can actually see that the sword is being held by an actual metal ring, and you're just going to clip it on that little piece right there. You can see that back there. So you can take this off and slide it out, and you see the little ring on the metal right there, and a little clip back here. So that's how it's actually holstered. This chain piece can also come off. I don't know why. I don't know why you would want to. And you could unholster it from the whole strap right here if you really wanted to. But I prefer to just leave it on, let it hang like that. So it actually works out pretty good how it is holstered. We do get interchangeable hands, so you do got some close-fisted hands right here. So I'm going to take off this hand right here, and we get the other little hand tree with all the interchangeable hands. Put this one on here, and I'm going to get this sword holding hand like so, just on your standard straight peg like that. Then when you want to put the sword on, you actually take the stock of the sword, or the butt of the sword, off like that, slide that through the hand, and then put that back in like so. And he holds it very, very well for the most part. There are some parts when you're posing them around, the heftiness and the bulkiness of the sword will kind of weigh the arm down a bit, but it's not terrible. You can get into some posing positions where he holds it up pretty sturdily. Like, if you have it like that, it's gonna droop. You know what I mean? But if you work it to where the peg will not allow it to do that, it'll stay pretty good, and you can get some good posing options. So I'm gonna take that off for right now. What I do love is this hand right here. This is his, I forget what it's exactly called, but it's pretty much a hand, a robotic arm that turns into like a little arm cannon basically. So you do get multiple options for that hand, open palm. You can even hold the sword with that same palm. But it comes with this one right here. Now what this one's for is you actually peg that into there, and the wrist breaks down and reveals the barrel of the gun. That's really cool. I love that. And it's funny is I actually forgot he even did that until I got the figure. I was like, wait, I don't remember him doing that. Then I looked up stuff and I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. So that's pretty awesome that you get that option. So very, very cool. I love how they did that. So I'm gonna put this back on. We also get your normal Figma stand. I absolutely love that all Figma figures come with their own stand. I mean, other companies need to take note and do that, because it's great that we can get that option. You know, SH Figure Arts does not do that. They really need to. We also do get a little baggie right here that comes. You can store all your accessories if you don't want to keep the box, so that's always fun. We also do get an interchangeable head sculpt, so you want to take this off right here. When you do pull this off, the neck might come with it because it does come off on itself. You can actually put this one on right here. So this is a more angry Guts when he's like in his rage or berserk mode, and he's just ready to murder a bunch of people. So that's pretty cool too. But I do like the more stoic face on mine. We also get this cape. Now I'm going to put this cape on. So you want to take the head off and you slide it over the neck like so. And then you take your head and then you put the head on like that. Now that's a really cool look. I do love the look of the cape. With just that big shawl piece around the neck and the shoulders. I think that looks fantastic. What I absolutely hate is the material used for this cape. This is probably the worst cape I have ever seen, because the material is so rigid, but it's a soft goods material, but what it feels like is an air filter from a car or something like that. It is, I'm going to say it, it's stupid. I had pulled the cape out, and I saw this, I was like, this is the dumbest thing ever. And even the shredding at the bottom just looks like somebody took some scissors and started cutting little triangles out of it, and it just does not look good. It looks weird. I don't like the material used. If you bend it at all, it's going to end up creasing. Like, you can see a crease in my cape right there, and it stays there and it looks ugly. Like, I don't get why they did that. It's just ridiculous. You can store the sword in there at the same time. Kind of just slide it on in the back of the chain right here, and man, it just gets stuck on that piece like crazy. So let me do this real quick. I know you guys love watching me struggle, right? I bet you do. So you can slide it, and it will holster in the back there without having to hook that piece, and you can just hold it across the back like so, which still works out very, very well. So I do like that, but man, that cape is just awful. Like, I don't know what they were thinking, and the neck came off. Like I said, it does happen, but luckily it's just on a standard Figma peg like so, and you can just put that back on fairly easily. So alright, so now let's take a look at articulation. So the head and the neck are on those joints. Oh, that just popped off really easily. So let me pop that back on. That is a problem with mine that I've noticed. So they're on ball pegs with hinges, so that'll roll around just like so. Does turn left and right, or rock side to side I should say. Does turn left and right. Look up about that far. Down very, very nicely. Arms and shoulders can go full 360. out about that far, rotate on the peg up there just a little bit, a nice Figma arm goes about that much at the elbow. Kind of wish it was double jointed, but it's not that bad. Also rotates just a little bit. You got a rotation at the wrist as well as a hinge at the wrist. We get a ball peg in the mid torso, so that rolls around just like so. Does turn left and right, rock side to side. Crunches back, not so much. Crunches forward a little bit. Kicks forward and up very, very high, and that's very, very nice. This crotch piece is a separate floating piece of plastic, and it is a softer plastic, so it does not really hinder articulation. Kick back about that far. Can do the splits about that much. Rotate on that upper ball peg just a little bit. A really nice Figma knee joint that bends in very, very well. We do get rotation at the boot. Allows you to point the toe up and down, and a very, very good ankle rocker. So overall, I think this is actually a really cool figure. I love it so much. Again, I just love the character, in my opinion. Just a really rad character. He's so unique from other things that we normally see as far as like, you know, anime characters go and whatnot, who are just so brightly colored and over the top. He's a little more darker and grittier and grounded in my opinion, and he's just so awesome. And I love the fact that Figma just did a great job with him. That cape is utter garbage. I hate it, and I'm gonna try my best to maybe do my own soft goods cape, because this thing is just, look how rigid it is. It's not even plastic, it's soft goods. It shouldn't drag like that. Ugh. But the figure itself is amazing, so if you can snag him, I highly recommend him because he is definitely a must get. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Captain America figure, as well as a DCUC Batman figure. And just for fun, here he is standing next to a little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Figma Guts figure, Black Swordsman Edition. Now overall, I really do think this is an awesome action figure. He is just incredibly well done. Figma did a great job with the sculpt, paint, and amazing accessories. Except for that god-awful cape. Man, I hate that thing. It is terrible. But with that cape aside, this is just a great piece. If you're a fan of Sword of the Berserk, then this is definitely one of the best action figures of Guts. He is incredibly cool and a definite must get. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.